Okay. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining the mentorship session of the Agrofood entrepreneurship training. As we informed you, the training is not just all about assessing premium markets, but also providing all the information you need to optimize your production to be able to succeed in the work you're doing in the agri-food sector. As we all know, it's a very hard. Um, it's Farming is not, and it's not something you just do for the sake of doing it. You have to put in a lot of effort, and we have a lot of resources locally that can be of help. We have these mentorship sessions to um, be able to bring you in touch with people that are experienced in the sector so they can share their experience and provide you with information that can be useful to you in the work that you're doing. And I'm really grateful for Dr. Suzanne Awung to take this time out today to be part of this mentorship session. Suzanne is someone that I've known for a long time, someone that I trust, and I know she's dedicated in what she's doing. I know she has a lot of information that will be useful to those of you that are working in the agri-food sector. Um, this training session is one of the initiatives of the Food Bridge, but we are working in collaboration with COLEACP, Vectra International, and with the support of Transpetrol Foundation. So now I hand you over to Susan.
Good day, everyone. I think I would like to share my screen before we
Okay.
continue.
Um, I'm making you a host now, so it will.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're the host now. You should be able to share.
Yes, I just share. I don't know if everybody is looking at the screen now.
No, we can't see the screen yet.
Let me try to share again.
The
Are
green
you
button?
seeing the screen?
No, we're not seeing it. Usually you click on the green button and then
Yes.
you choose the document. You should be able to.
The share screen.
Yeah, share screen, then you choose the document you want to share. That should be possible. Yes.
It is there now.
You're sharing number. We're not seeing the document yet. Yes, it's there now.
Is there now?
Yes.
Yes. Today I will want to talk about what we have been practicing in Susie Farm, which is integrated agriculture. Because normally when you do something in practice and it works well, it's always good to train, to share the information out so that other people can be trained to follow suit and actually optimize the yield per unit area in their own farms. So the aim of this training, when we started it, we really wanted to make sure that we could close the gap between research and practice. Why? Because a lot of research has been done around organic farming and how to increase yield per unit area within local communities. But most of the time, the research are only in the shelves, in libraries, and people hardly read them. So there is always a gap between what has been researched and what people are doing in practice. So that's why we use this training opportunity to be able to bridge that gap and also to preserve local knowledge and practice, because there are so many local knowledge that has been used in agriculture before that works very well. And more often we go with modern technology that come with the use of chemical that actually destroy the environment. So it will really be good if we can have training on this type of indigenous knowledge and practices, so that we can try to preserve the way our ancestors used to do farming, and also to save the environment. So what we practice actually in Suzy farm is organic farming, where we don't use fertilizers, we don't use pesticide and all those things. And we also do a type of integrated farming, the one I will be explaining today, where we have to use the crops and also um, keep animals in the way that we make sure that all the resources are recycled and used again in the farm. So those are the type of things I will be talking about today. And it also help also to preserve our environment. The objective of this training is to make sure that the community can gain resilience to climate change, because the threat of climate change is now too much. And people are always complaining of food shortages, especially now in Cameroon because of drought. So if we are able to have people who know how to do these indigenous farming techniques, they will be able to incorporate some of this knowledge into their farm and make sure that they can still increase the amount of food per unit area, thereby enhancing food security, which is a serious problem in Africa now. And through this integrated agriculture, we make it in such a way that so many different crops are planted at the same time, so that we have better nutrition. We can have fruit where we have minerals and vitamins. We can have legumes where we have a lot of protein, and we'll have grains that will have it can act as energy source. And we also have the animals where we can sell and also make money. And this has also helped to alleviate poverty and also help the farmers to get enough money to improve their livelihood and well-being. So the strategy we use in this training method is to do mixed cropping or intercropping, or we do multi-story farming model. Today, I will be explaining one of this model, which is multi-story farming model, which help us to increase yield and area. Unfortunately, we cannot do all the farming model on one lesson, so I'll be doing the multi-story farming model that we usually use. We train also farmers in doing animal husbandry, because if they have to integrate the farming with animal husbandry, and they don't have knowledge about how to raise these animals, they won't be able to raise them. And we also show them how to use the local food crops and convert it into animal feed, so that the animal will still grow and be as large as the ones that are fed with imported feed. So in so doing, we are closing the resource flow between plants and animal to make sure that our environment can grow in a very sustainable way while people live comfortably. So as I said, the integrated agriculture that we do is a type of sustainable agriculture where we do a mixture of fruit trees, we plant fruit trees, fruit crops also like plantains, egusi, and there are certain spacing technique which we employ, and this spacing technique depends on the type of crops, the type of canopy cover of the trees, and if you are associating it with the type of crops that you are also associating the crops, because we also do 3 or 4 sister cropping system that I will show you very soon. And as I said before, we don't till, because tilling exposes the earth, and when the earth is being exposed, there's degradation. So we do zero tilling. As you can see here, this egusi that's planted, we just slash, we allow the grass to rot, and we plant. We don't till. And we don't also use fertilizer, as I said. Then we also mix the crops with like beans, granite, which also help with nitrogen fixation of the soil. So that's the type of integrated agriculture we do. So I'll go ahead to show you people a layout of the multi-story model that I'm about to explain today. This is a typical multi-story model, which we are actually actually implementing at Susie Farm in the Sanje area, which we have 50 hectares of land. Here you can see we are interplanting. We have coconuts that are planted in the spacing of 8 meter by 10 meter, and we have plantains. Here we have all the plantains planted in rows also. And in between the plantains, we have corn and beans. This corn and beans is very good because they have mutual benefit between each other. They are crops that don't compete for nutrients. The beans will help to fix nitrogen for the maize. And the maize, the nutrient that the maize needs, the beans will not be taking it from the soil. And the nutrient that the beans need, the maize will not be taking. So they have a mutual relationship where when you plant both crops together, the yield of both of the crops is increased. But when you plant them separately, the yield of each individual crops is reduced. So when doing this sister cropping, there are some enough of research that has been published so that we can read and know which crop we can combine with the other one so that to increase yield. And in between here, you see, I've also done a pair other crops, cocoyam and granite. Cocoyam does well also, granite does well on its own, but when you pair both of them, they have a mutual relationship that when you pay both of them are benefiting from each other and both of their yields are increasing. So when you see this multi-story model, you discover that even though coconut can only be planted 8 by 10, but if you have 1 hectare of land and you plant only coconut, most of the space is being wasted because the sun rays will go under the soil and there will not be the highest thing that can happen is only for the grass to grow. There will not be crops, so the light, the sun energy will be wasted. So that's why we can still use 1 hectare of land, which was meant to plant coconut, and still make sure that we plant our plantains in between. We plant our corn and beans following the rows that I've put here, and also plant cocoyam and granite. And the yield of each of these crops will be increased because when pairing it and make sure that the crops have mutual relationship with each other. So if you see on this 1 hectare of land that was meant to plant only 125 coconut, you will discover that the crops per hectare now, we have the coconut, which is 125, and effectively for 1 hectare of land, it was supposed to be 125 coconut. But then we can comfortably plant 700 suckers of plantains, which is about that amount might go to 0.5 hectare of land, which is needed to plant that 700 suckers. And the corn and beans, the effective land area that corn and beans cover is 0.4 hectare. And that which cocoyam and granite is covering is 0.4 hectare also. So you see, in total, for the 1 hectare of land, we are able to plant crops which have a total land area, which is supposed to have a total land area of 2.3 hectare. In so doing, now we are planting so much crops in a limited amount of land, and we'll be able to have much yield. And we'll be able now to solve the food, the problem of food security, because more food will be harvested, more food will be sold, and we'll have more returns.